Do you want to play with Iceman? Throwing snowballs at bad guys. I think it's really great that Bobby Drake can always supply ice. He's the best at keeping drinks cold, but not in PvP. PD, he's so useless, why? Do you want to play with Iceman? Go away. Okay, bye. What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're taking a look at the default costume for Iceman. I'm not even sure if we've ever done this before in PvP, and there's a good reason for that. He's just not that strong. In fact, I would rate him a low priority hero, especially for one that costs 200 CP. Still, this video is mainly meant to be for fun. And I did try my best to build a few teams for him that could possibly win. So with that being said, we're jumping right into the action. But before I tell you a little bit more about these teams and this hero, I want to give a special thank you to Agent Seraph. This video was brought to you in part because of this agent, so let's hear it for them.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Okay, so Iceman, of course he is going to rely on Chilled, and that would be a pretty solid debuff, except the worthy are all immune. Iceman, we have a problem. Of course the worthy dominate PvP right now, so them being immune to his major debuff that all of his abilities rely on, that's no bueno. Because of that, it was nearly impossible to beat Null and Kurth at the same time. One of them, sure. But both, I would give an Iceman and Chilled center team about a 5% chance to win. You better hope that the procs go your way. But still, we did try to build a team that focused on Iceman, and also, we decided to team him up with a fellow mutant. Because of that, and his level 9, we went with the Mark of the Brotherhood. This buff gadget gives allied mutants rally and morale boost, plus when a friendly mutant is defeated, the remaining one is healed. All in all, not a bad gadget to use. Especially since, like I said, his level 9 will become a quick action, and so will Protective Shroud. Then after that, we're using the Lightning Rod. That exploits flying, and it exploits Chilled. Against Kurth, this could have been great, but she's immune to Chilled. Still, it will do some pretty decent damage. And it also will trigger Static Charge, plus it deals electricity damage to melee attackers. I'm sure we'll see more of this in later videos. I just happened to win it on the daily mission just the other day. But as far as Iceman's level 9, it's going to give an ice wall to all allies. This will absorb incoming damage. Then with the manifesting AISO, it grants us Epiphany as well. Then it also gives Iceman a stack of Dead of Winter, so it allows him to come back to life. Not too bad, especially once it's made a quick action, so we can also use his level 1, and in this case it's going to take down Null. By the way, Null's been protecting an awful lot, I mean a crazy amount, and it was driving me insane. Trying to use abilities and weapons that exploit Chilled, and having someone immune to Chilled keep protecting, that's beyond frustrating. But hey, there's no worthy in this second match. We're just taking on an old-fashioned Invisible Woman and Molly Hayes team. Iceman gets to go first, so we're going to use Cold Feet to exhaust the enemy agent. That's one great debuff that Bobby does have access to if he needs it. And in this case with the agent up next, he definitely did. So he's going to use the Neurotrope, and that's the end of his turn. Then also for this one we did change our setup slightly. We're now using the Weather Control device, which does have a quick action Hailstorm that applies chill to all enemies at once. Then we're using the Hugin's Eye, and that's more of a safety precaution. Now of course this enemy team is relying on shields, and the Air Pressure EISO. Luckily we placed the Bursting EISO on Storm's AoE attack, Blizzard. So with that we break and prevent new shields. Plus we're going to apply chill to the entire enemy team. We do take some counters, but Protective Shroud keeps us relatively safe. Then on Iceman's turn, because of an earlier rally, he can use his level 9 as a quick action, and then we can either exhaust Molly with his level 6, or we can try to take her close to death. I opted for damage in this case because our agent's going to get an attack before she does. We could have still been in trouble here, but she does miss with her dropkick, and then the enemy agent is actually going to attack with the Warbringer axe. Since we're in a force cage, it doesn't even hurt us. So thank you, Invisible Woman. After a warm Zephyr that removes our debuffs, including force cage, and then we can use the lightning rod to finish off Molly. It does have a guaranteed hit, but what does that even mean in this game? Still, here it does its job. So with Molly down, we did use our tornado. By the way, check out the Carnado video if you haven't seen it already. That team works much better than these. Still though, we are going to have a different team following this win. It doesn't fare that much better against Kurth and Null though, and I'll explain that once we get there. Oh, well, here we are. This team is using Emma Frost, another mutant, so she will benefit from the Mark of the Brotherhood. Other than that, you may be wondering how in the world does she pair up with Iceman? Well, I'm glad you asked. The answer is the Brain Freeze AISO. It says the equipped psychic attack applies Migraine and Chilled. You could even place this on her level 9, which is an AoE attack. Then she would have a psychic ability that applies Chill to all enemies at once. However, since it already has Migraine, I went ahead and put it on her level 1. Plus, I like the maddening AISO on that level 9. That causes the equipped psychic attack to apply Weak Mind, increasing damage of psychic attacks. Either way though, she's going to help out Iceman with Chilled. Now the problem with this enemy team is that they do have the Mystic Shroud. That definitely slows us down a bit. It's annoying, but we can get past it. Them getting all these procs will not help though. So far, Lady Luck is definitely on their side. However, Iceman does a very nice opening hit on Null. Then because we equipped the Hugin's Eye, the enemy's unarmed melee attacks were missing. Unfortunately, now we have staggered. That's alright though, with Emma we'll use Unlock Potential, and that's going to remove that debuff from our agent. That could be a very big key against this enemy team. After that, I'm going to go ahead and use our level 9, just to do a decent amount of damage to all the opponents. Emma being a tactician will definitely come in handy later. For now though, I'm not too worried about it because they still have the Mystic Shroud for this one last attack. Now with Quicksilver's turn, they no longer have that debuff protection, and he doesn't do that much damage. Unfortunately, Null gets another turn, which he also misses, so good news. This is going to allow my agent to first exhaust the enemies. We do take a preemptive Ragnarok'em Sock'em, but now the enemy agent is exhausted. It actually does a decent amount of damage on Null as well. Unfortunately, Quicksilver does counter with the tag team. Then after that, because Null's up next, we're going to go ahead and fire our lightning rod. Quicksilver was very tempting, but we go for Null. His procs just got too ridiculous, and this finally does take him down. Sadly, Iceman was stunned, so the enemy agent gets to attack, and he goes with a first blood. Luckily, he misses. That gives us an extra turn, so we first use Psychic Tap on him. Then of course we're going to use it on Quicksilver. Mental Anguish is one of the best debuffs that you can apply to Quicksilver outside of Immobilized. Of course Bleeds hurt him as well. So on his attack he does very little damage to Emma, but he somehow manages to live, with only 219 HP. Man, talk about a letdown. Well, I suppose with Iceman, we'll go ahead and use his AoE attack that'll finish off Quicksilver and hurt the enemy agent. He would have been KO'd, but Dead of Winter saved him. So we do land our hit, and that's the end of Quicksilver. And then the enemy agent stunned. Emma dies to bleeds, and then after using the Warm Zephyr to clear our debuffs and heal our team, I'm going to fire the lightning rod, which possibly will finish off the enemy agent. Or it won't even come close. But the good news is Iceman gets to finish his own video, which you know I love to do. So this was actually the best thing that could happen, at least in my opinion. And with this final attack, that's going to be the end of our look at Iceman. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck and take care.